Hello, everybody. It is Sunday, the 15th of October. I want to talk about the Christ. I want to talk about our lower nature. And I want to talk about that we need to be the masters of ourselves, of the energies that are grown out of the experience of life, which is our lower nature. And we need to be the masters of that which we receive from a higher level. And I want to show you how we are going wrong by not being the masters of those energies, but by being overcome by them and being swept away by them. And that is not what should happen. And that is both the higher and the lower nature. We are being swept away by it. And we are not the masters of it. Because these things were given to serve us. Both higher and lower nature were given to serve us, not to rule over us. And when that happens, when they rule over us, the outcome is wrong. And then to show you to what point they can serve us and where we need to keep them down, where we need to regulate them, and really show you what they do. And really how to create a prayer in the heart using both your lower and your higher knowledge. And that is the correct way. Because on their own, well, the higher knowledge actually cannot create an outcome at all of its own. And the outcome created by the lower nature is less than enlightened. I want to show you this here. Let's start with what happened in the New Testament, the giving of a higher knowledge. And what I can see happening in this world to people that receive that knowledge. And that is, they are being overcome by it. They're sitting there like absolute spaced out idiots, overcome by the energy and by the knowledge. Yeah? I have risen, my awareness has risen, and I'm now sitting in this cloud of milk, honey, and dopamine. But I'm just sitting here. I'm doing nothing. The only thing that knowledge serves at that moment is yourself. Actually, I thought that was probably the most selfish state that you can get into. Because it makes you feel good. But it doesn't serve anything else. And in the New Testament, that energy was given to one another. And it created miracles. Now, again, if you accept that knowledge as your Christ, as your Savior, means it came to serve. That means you are accepting it as a servant, not as your master. You are the master. You are accepting it in as your servant. And I tell you, every angel, every energy that brings a knowledge is limited in what it knows. And that Lucifer, that angel that came, that somebody saw fit to call Lucifer, is limited in what it knows. If you look at the message and see what is not there. So see the message and read the energy as well as the words. So the energy is compassion, which means it points towards suffering. And then the knowledge is ask. Yeah? You want to change. You want to do away with suffering. You ask and know that you have received. And it will happen. It will be yours. The outcome will be yours. You will experience it. So that was the message and that was the knowledge. And see what is not there. There is no definition of what suffering is. It does not know what suffering is. It knows how to heal it. But it does not actually know what suffering is. So something needs to bring to it the point, the knowledge of suffering, the point at which it can work. And what is the knowledge of suffering inside of yourself? Your lower nature. Now, folks, we do not like our lower nature. Frankly, it has never got anything good to say. It doesn't. It brings you knowledge of what is wrong. But that is its purpose. It shows you what is wrong. Yeah? Satan is going in and out of heaven all the time moaning. And so do all the others, I dare say. Sadness, the knowledge of loss. Greed, the knowledge of need. There is a need there. So they are going in and out of heaven all the time, moaning their heads off. But that is their purpose. And you should only allow them to go as far as that. Now, in the Old Testament, again, there was the knowledge of an angel, and that angel became not only the knowledge of what is wrong, but it became its own solution. In the story of the wilderness, they were led by one spirit, by one knowledge, and that was fear and the knowledge that there's danger ahead. And then fear became its own solution. That is when you're at the point of clear and present danger. The knowledge of fear will turn into into strength, into something that gives you strength to either fight or flight. And they chose fight all the way to the promised land. Now, that guide can become the solution, but that way is less than enlightened. It was 4,000 years ago. It still is now. So if you allow the knowledge of your lower nature to be the messenger, to bring the knowledge of that which is wrong, but you do not allow it to become the solution, only to the point of knowing it's there, and then don't be swept away again. Become filled with that energy to drive you toward a solution. If you do that, it becomes peace-like and unenlightened. So just let it be the messenger of that which is wrong, and let it rise into the heart, looking for a solution, not being its own solution, but looking for a solution. And then let the knowledge of that was given in the New Testament be your Christ. But then, again, you need to point it toward the place where it should work. The knowledge of suffering, the point of suffering, and the knowledge of healing, they must come together and work, become a prayer that then will be answered by the all. And then you are being given by the all. But as I said, neither should be your master. They are the bringers of knowledge. And you must point them toward where they should work. You accept Christ as your Savior. You accept that knowledge as your Savior. You must accept it as a servant, not as a master. And those that are sitting there spaced out, what was their servant has become their master. Those that go on the energy of the lower nature, then the lower nature has stopped being their servant and has become their master. I say it will create an outcome, but that is a very unenlightened way of doing things. So this is where we must understand ourselves, where we must become the masters of our energies. We must not be overcome by them. We must point them to where they must work. We must bring them together in the heart. The knowledge of salvation and the knowledge of suffering, so they can come together to ask for a solution to be received of the all. And then there is no war in heaven, there is no conflict. They are both doing according to what they were created to do. And they come together in the same intention. And then the war will cease. But that is what we must understand, and that is what we must do. And it is really understanding your energy body as much as you understand your physical body, to see that they are all working parts within your energy body. And as in this physical body, if one of your organs stops working, they all fulfill a different function. They're all different from each other. And if one of them ceases to work, the entire body will be affected. So then if a part of your energy body is malfunctioning, then it will affect your entire energy body, and it is your energy body that is creating the outcome. The outcome will be wrong. So that is why we must work this correctly. They are our servants. We can only allow them to go to a certain point where they serve us. And that is both lower and higher nature. We must regulate them. We must bring them to the point. We must bring them together, which is creating the prayer. And then we will receive. Anyway, I leave it at that for today. And I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.